It is Friday again, and welcome to the 17th Daily Bailey. I want to start out by sharing with you one of the logos for the competition that will end 2 weeks from today, and so be sure you get those turned into the My Big Campus group. It's called the Daily Bailey Tech Talk group, and underneath the discussion thread you can find the logo competition and submit your logo there. And I want to thank the student for providing this entry, and this is the only one so far, but several of you have talked to me expressing interest in creating a logo, and I appreciate the time that this student took to provide this logo. I will share that student's name if I get permission, but for now I just wanted to share his work that he did, and it is very helpful for me, so I appreciate it. I want to start out with looking at some mindsets. A lot of times in school or in life we hear don't do this, don't do that, just don't do anything. These are all the things that you can't do. But too often we're not told what are the possibilities or what can we do. In my mind, with these tech talks and our conversations in the hallway and in your classes, my vision, my dream is that if you were given an iPad that had access to everything as far as online, all the different apps, all the different tools that are out there, blogs, that you would be able to handle that responsibility without being distracted, with being productive, and not only that, but also being able to leverage it to help you share the skills, maybe build a tribe or a group online that enjoys the art that you create and whatever that art looks like. And so I want us to start moving away from these are the things you can't do, yada, 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 and we just want to get away from that. Now, of course, there are lines, and anytime you start in a new adventure or a new journey, you have to have a framework and you have to have some lines. But in real life, when you're an adult and you're using a device in your workplace, you are not going to have all these restrictions a lot of times. And if you're easily distracted and you lose focus and you don't work on the task at hand and you're not productive, you're not sharing your art, then there are consequences that come with that that were much worse than any kind of discipline that you can get into with just school. And so I want us to move away from the don't do this, don't do that mindset and look instead as into what is it we can do. And one example of this, and I've shared with you before my 6 streams of learning, and one of the things that Seth Godin, one of my favorite authors, does is he shares some people who kind of get away from what they like to call the gatekeepers, the people who own or work in different industries and say you're good and you're not. And then what he says instead is you need to become the best you can be and then share your art in very professional ways. And this guy is a great example of that. And so this guy, and his website's called gapingvoidart.com, and we'll visit that right now. Hugh MacLeod is the artist who created Gaping Void Art, and he calls it Art with Purpose. And here's a picture of him. And he creates art every single day. And what the thing that's unique is that he didn't wait for a studio or for someone to accept his art as being good. He just created it and then began sharing it. And you can purchase his art online, and he has a huge fan base that really appreciates his art. And because he's not mediocre, because he's pursued excellence, you can see here that it's very unique, it's personalized, and it's something that's very important to him. And one of his goals is every single day he shares art with a group of people who follow him via a web or an email list. And so he has an email list of people who want to see his art, and then the people who like it can go online and purchase it. And this is just one example of the type of art that you can be creating. And there's a really nice video on here. Feel free to go to it and visit and read through this and look at his art. But he has some humor, but there's a lot of truth to the things that he's sharing as well. And so you can check out his different artwork. But the reason for showing this is I want you to know that right now you can be doing things online, whether it's creating a blog, creating a website that shares whatever it is that you do in a very professional way. And so that way you're not just avoiding doing bad things online, but you're actually leveraging it to build an audience and to create something good that maybe could even be a career for you down the road. And that's the goal of what we're shooting for. Have a great weekend.